Okay, so this just gives you an idea of the Vaal River system, the Vaal River reservoir that is under the spotlight with regards to sewage. So the Vaal Dam is on this side. What it does is it flows this way. We're at the moment, you're over here at Stonehaven on Vaal. And it flows all the way down to the barrage. The tributary that flows into it here is the Rietspruit. The other one on the Vereeniging side is the Klip. This is Johannesburg here, and this is Sasolburg, okay? So we've got the town of Vanderbilt Park here. We've got the Vereeniging over there. So we've got 3 wastewater plants that service the sewage in the Vaal. We've got the Rietspruit wastewater plant. We've then got the Sebokeng wastewater plant. And we've got the Leeuwkel wastewater plant, which is Vereeniging area. So Leeuwkel has got a capacity of 36 megalitres. 5 years ago, it was using 56 megalitres. So in other words, it didn't have enough capacity. At the moment, the inflow is about 6 megalitres. And the reason for that is that the 38 pump stations that actually take all of the sewage to this wastewater plant are not working. So what that means is all of the houses all over here that are meant to pipe up their sewage to Leeuwkel, the pipes are broken and the pump stations are broken. And that's why all of the sewage just goes into the Vaal River. When the plant operates properly, it's meant to clean the water and it's meant to discharge into the Vaal River over here. We've then got the Sebokeng wastewater plant, as I mentioned. Its capacity is 100 megalitres. 5 years ago, we were servicing between 150 and 200 megalitres. So that shows it's grossly under capacity. Sebokeng consists of 3 modules at the moment. There's module 3, 4, and 5. They comprise of 100 megalitres. Module 6, which was meant to come in operation in October last year, is going to add another 50. So we will then have 150 megalitres. But still, because it's 5 years ago, we were servicing up to 200. So that also shows you there's not enough capacity there. This particular wastewater plant, even though 5 years ago was servicing 200, today has got about 30, 40 megalitres coming in. So that shows you 160 megalitres is because the 4 pump stations that are working with this aren't working, and all of its pipe work isn't working. It's all just going into the Vaal River. So that's also another reason of the pollution. When the Sebokeng wastewater plant works properly, it normally discharges into the Rietspruit. Okay. Then we've got the Rietspruit wastewater plant. It's got a capacity of 36 megalitres. 5 years ago, it was using approximately the same amount. Now it's got a very small inflow in comparison. It's only got 2 pump stations that service it, but the one pump station is actually here, River Pump Station. It's by the Emerald Casino. It gives lots and lots of problems. It needs quite a major overhaul. So, and at the moment, the problem is all of the sewage from Vanderbilt Park comes through 2 pump stations and it gets pumped up to Rietspruit, but the main line here has collapsed, and that's what's going to be fixed. When the Rietspruit wastewater plant works well, it discharges its water into the Rietspruit. So, besides the areas I've mentioned here, the pipes that I'm talking about that aren't working, there's 2,600 kilometers of pipes all over the place, and a lot of them have got problems with them. They're either blocked or broken. So what I want to show you over here, so at the moment URVAT has been employed to fix the 38 pump stations for the Leeuwkel, fix the 4 pump stations for Sebokeng, fix the 2 pump stations for Rietspruit, plus fix Rietspruit, Sebokeng and Leeuwkel, plus fix all of the networks, all of the pipes that feed the sewage there. So the problem we've got is that this is very much like a human body. You can't just fix the head and if the leg is falling off. Which one are you going to fix first? You know, if the head's falling off the leg, which one? It's also integrated. So for example, if URVAT fix these 38 pump stations now, but they don't fix all of the part of the 2,600 kilometers of lines, of pipes, then they'll fix these, but then the lines will still be broken. If they fix the lines first, but they don't fix the pump stations, then that won't work. If they fix the pump stations and the lines, but they don't fix the wastewater treatment plants, then all of this water will come here, and then they won't be able to treat it. So everything is integrated. Unfortunately, OVAT is going to have to work simultaneously on all of these things, because if they don't do it simultaneously, you will still end up with lots of pollution. Then if I can just take you to this other picture here. So once OVAT fixes our 3 wastewater plants, our 44 pump stations, and our 2,600 kilometers of networks, unfortunately, we still might have a problem in the Vaal River. And the reason for that is that we are the bottom source of where a lot of sewage actually runs into. If you look at this map, the top is north. You can see Johannesburg here, the Free State's down here, and we're approximately over here. So this is the Vaal Dam that you see over here. The Vaal Dam runs all the way down. It looks like it's going up, but it's not. It actually runs all the way here to where you are physically at the moment in Vanderbijl Park. Then it runs this way, and then it goes. This is where the barrage is. Okay, the loch is here, and this is the barrage. Where you were, where you visited the Rietspruit the other day, you were just over here. So I've told you about our 3 wastewater plants. Here's our Leeuwkel, here's our Sebokeng, and Rietspruit. And unfortunately, Rietspruit, Sebokeng, Leeuwkel, these are our 3 that OVAT are currently working on. But all the other red ones you see in blocks are also wastewater plants. And 90% of them have got issues, very, very similar to ours. Because they don't have enough capacity, they're actually, because remember, all of them are also discharging into all these river systems. So all of these guys are discharging into the Rietspruit, which runs into the Vaal. These guys are discharging into the Suikerbosrand, goes into the Vaal. These into the Klip, which goes into the Vaal. So we also urge our minister to please look at all these other wastewater plants, because even if OVAT fixes our 3, all of these are still currently polluting. So anything over 400, a count of 400 E. coli is considered really dangerous, 400. So just to let you know, Olifantsvlei, this one over here, was discharging over 4 million not long ago. It's actually a problem area. I think most people know about it. Meyerton also was charging a count of over 4 million. Remember, I've said anything over 400 is bad, discharging a code count of 4 million into the Klip. Okay? Rondebolt, 770,000. Herbert Brickley, also over 4 million. So there's no point in just cleaning ourselves when all of these other guys, and also it doesn't look like it, but these people also flow into our water system. All of these, our minister needs to also make sure DWS addresses that they stop polluting too. I'll show you a bigger picture here. Pardon?
They're pump stations.
What are those?
Not wastewater treatment.
No, they're all wastewater treatment plants. Every one of these.
You mean every pump station?
Every one of these is a wastewater treatment plant.
We call it a pump station.
No, you don't. A pump station is this. These are pump stations. Those are pump stations.
So this is something different.
All of these are literally just a pump that pumps sewage to a wastewater treatment plant.
Okay.
Yeah.
There are more than this one.
There are more than the 3 big ones.
Yes.
Yeah, they're not ours though. Remember, they belong to other areas. So this is Ennerdale. That's Oliphants. This is, remember, look where this is. This is Western area, Soweto. This is not us. But unfortunately, they come down to us because they discharge into the river systems that come down into the Vaal. So that's the problem. So this is the immediate problem, but if you look at the bigger problem, it's even worse. So this is even a bigger picture here now. So here's your Vaal Dam, here's your Vaal River. So just look, I actually checked this with DWS and with Rand Water. It looks like these aren't running into us, but all of these, even from Harrismith and Bethlehem and Rates and Warden, all of this sewage runs into our Vaal Dam. From Ermelo, all of this. all of them run into our Vaal River system. So fixing just our 3 wastewater plants that OVAT is doing and our networks and our pump stations is not going to fix the quality of water in the river. The bigger picture is just because this covers a bigger geographical area. So you're in the Free State here now. You know, this is Harrismith is Natal. So beforehand, I just showed you this. The other one map before was basically this area here. Okay? Now I'm showing you a bigger area. So believe it or not, when you go down to Durban, their sewage ends up in our Vaal River system. So Bethlehem, their sewage ends up in our Vaal River system. So in other words, say that we cleaned up all of the wastewater plants above us, but say Bethlehem and Harrismith and Warden and Rates and Standerton and Ermelo, they were still polluting. It ends up in our Vaal River system. And the big problem is the water for Gauteng is sourced from the Vaal Dam. Everyone thinks it's the Vaal River. It's not. It's actually the Vaal Dam. So this is making life more difficult for Rand Water because their technology is based on cleaning water that is not highly contaminated with E. coli. If they continue to pollute like this, it's making Rand Water's job more difficult. Water will cost more money because they'll have to go through more trouble to purify it. Yeah, so our water that's running past us here at the moment all comes from the Vaal Dam into the Vaal River. So most people don't know the difference between the dam and the river, but there's quite a significant difference. This is the dam that Rand Water source all of the water for all of Gauteng, and this is the river system, the Vaal River Reservoir. The reason it's called a reservoir is because close to Vicky's house, they've got a barrage, which they've blocked it off. I don't know if you've ever been to Parys. Have you seen what the water flows like there? It's just like quite narrow and lots of rocks. The water system here used to be like that, but then they blocked it. That's why it's called a reservoir. That's why it's called the Vaal River Reservoir, this whole area. Because in the old days, before they blocked it off, this used to be a thin river. Now it's a wide river because they blocked off the one side and they only allow a certain amount of water in. Because in the old days, they used to source the water for Gauteng from the Vaal River, but they no longer do that. They source it from the Vaal Dam now. So if I can also tell you, there's a very good dashboard at the moment which exists, and it's on our website, www.reservoir.coza, and it's run by Rand Water. So what they do is they've got 10 different points, and they analyze it, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is over here, 7, 8. Are you 9?
I don't know.
You're 9, I think. You're like 9, 10. So there are 10 different points, and every week they do the E. coli count. Remember, E. coli means sewage. And so every week we can find out exactly what the sewage count is. The sewage count is always very, very bad in this area where Vicky is, where she took you yesterday, because of all the sewage coming through here. From not only from the Ritzbreid and Sebokeng, but also from all of these people above us, all these people who also contaminate. So the big problem is over here, and then the other big problem is it's 3, 4, and 5. So it's the Klip, lots of sewage coming down there, Leukel, because it's not operational and it's coming down, and 5. So points 3, 4, and 5 are always a problem, and point 9 is a problem. So that's what I was saying to you, that we can definitely judge, at the moment the whole public can, because it's a public website. The whole idea, it's actually done so that the boating and recreational community on the Vaal River can find out if it's safe to go skiing that weekend or not by the E. coli count. So this is a dashboard that exists already, that if our minister kept Urvat and her officials accountable to reduce the E. coli count, that would make a massive difference. Like the E. coli count this past week over here was, I think it was 400 and something thousand. Remember I mentioned anything over 400 is bad. It was over 400,000. And over here, 3, 4, and 5 was also in the tens of thousands. If you look at Stonehaven here now, so I don't know, do you know, have you ever been to Emerald Casino? It's a lovely venue on the banks of the Vaal River. It's maybe like a 7-minute drive. So my sewage here, that from Stonehaven, if you went to the loo now, your sewage would get pumped over here. And it gets pumped in an underground pipe. But every so often, there are actually manhole covers. So if you can imagine, if this was a long pipe, imagine this is the Imagine this is the pipe from me all the way to Emerald at the end, or say this is Emerald at the end here, because my lovely feather does that. All the way along, there are actually manholes. And the reason they're manholes is because when there's a blockage somewhere, you can't break open the whole thing. You need to be able to go down and open it that way. So that's why there's lots of manholes all over the place for Metsi Alakoa to be able to unblock lines when they get blocked up. But our problem is that people are stealing these manhole covers. I want to say there could be at least 20 manholes all the way to Emerald. I don't know, I'm just estimating, okay? So people break open the manholes because they steal the steel, and then sometimes, like in Papalong area over here at Rietspruit, as Thabo showed us today, the man there, the manhole cover that Metsi used to unblock things, he then takes it, seals the steel, puts stones down the thing so it blocks up, and then it overflows, and then his animals can actually drink, his cows can drink water, which unfortunately happens to be sewage too. So when I say that OVATs have got to fix the networks are basically the pipes, and I also mean all of the manhole covers, because they're just basically things you can look down. It's about 6 meters deep, up to 10 meters deep. You look down the thing, and then you can just see the pipe going both ways, and it's round about that big. You just look down it, and then what they can do if it's blocked, they send down those rods and they unblock it. And at the moment, what OVAT is doing, in fact, the only thing they've really started doing is they've got, I heard it was 10, but I think you mentioned today it's 7. They've got 7, they're called vacuum trucks. And what they do is when the line gets blocked, it either blows or it sucks. So they've got a thing so they can put down their machinery into this 6 or 10 meter hole, and it's like a big round plastic thing like this, a big pipe. They put it down, and they either suck up or they blow. But the problem, when like the farmer puts rocks down, they can't do that. It just physically won't work. Then they've got to break the whole thing open, and they've got to try and manually get the stones out. And that's why it's so important for us to educate our community, for them to understand how it's damaging their human rights and the human existence here because of the sewage blockages that are actually happening. So unfortunately, the community is also part of the problem by putting stuff down that shouldn't go down. I don't think they understand the ramifications that if all of this line here, if someone here on this one and this one and this one had put all stuff down, then my sewage over here would start coming up through my toilets if it all got blocked here, going to Emerald Casino.